Hi everyone, today we are going to be focusing on rounding numbers to the nearest tens place. This is a review session, so this is something we've all already learned and we're going to review exactly how to do this so we can get really good at it. So I'm going to show you my screen. Let's make this big so everyone can see. So this is the first math lesson you're going to be doing. It's rounding numbers to the nearest 10. So what exactly does that mean? So the first thing we have to do is, the number we're given is 24. So the first thing I'm going to ask myself, okay, I'm rounding to the nearest tens place. Which number is in the tens place? That's the number we're going to be looking at to see if we're going to change it. We're either going to round it to the tens place it's already in, or we're going to be bumping it up to the next increment of 10. So if we look at the number 24, the 2 is in the tens place. So that's the number we're going to look at. We're either going to leave that as a 2, or we're going to bump it up to a 3. So when we have a 3 in the tens place, it's going to become 30. We can use a tool called a number line to help us. And the number line is a really cool tool because we can place the number we're thinking about or looking at right on the number line and put it in between the 2 increments of 10 we're looking at. So here we have 20 and 30. And we can see that 24 is right here on the 21, 22, 23, 24 spot. Okay, so we're going to use this number line to help us round 24 to the nearest 10. 24, when I look at it, I know that it's closer to 20 than it is to 30. It's pretty far away from 30. So I'm not going to bump this number up. I'm going to round this number to 20 because when I look at it using my number line, I can see that 24 is way closer to 20 than it is to 30. Let's look at another example. We're going to be looking at the number 57. The directions say, round 57 to the nearest 10. So when I look at 57, I know that the 5 is in the tens place. So that's the number I'm going to be looking at to change. Am I going to keep it at 50, or am I going to bump it up all the way to 60? So when I look at 57 on the number line, I can see that it's closer to 60. So when I round numbers, I'm thinking, is it closer to 50 or closer to 60? And right now I can tell that 57 is closer to 60. Yep, closer to 60, so we're gonna round 57 to 60. I want you to think about this one for a second. This might be a little tricky. So here we have the number 45. 45 is right in the middle of 40 and 50. But when it's right in the middle, do I leave it at 40 and don't bump it up? Or do I bump it up to 50? So if you remember, maybe like 6 weeks ago when we talked about rounding, there was a little rhyme we had. And when we are rounding, a number that can help us, if we're rounding to the nearest 10, we can actually look at the ones place. And the ones place can maybe give us a clue on where to go. Are we gonna leave it or are we gonna bump it up? So when I'm looking at the tens place, I know that's what I'm looking to change or keep the same. But the ones place right here can help us. So in 45, there's a 5 in the ones place. And I remember a saying that said, 4 and below, let it go. 5 and above, give it a shove. So when I look at this 5, even though it's right in the middle of my number line, I can know that, oh, there's a 5 in the ones place, so I'm gonna bump 45 all the way up to 50. When a number's in the middle, like 45, and there's a 5 in the ones place, we're gonna round it up. So now you're gonna get a chance to try some of these on your own. You're gonna be rounding to the nearest 10 using a number line. This is what your task is gonna look like. You are going to see, okay, this is the number I'm looking at. Am I keeping it at 60 or do I bump it up to 70? And you are actually going to get to type in your answer into these boxes, okay? So I can't wait to see what you do.